Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a good day. I have heard in chat that this puzzle I'm starting with is 5 stars, so that ought to be fun. Get back in at the deep end. I don't think it's been a bit since I've done a 5-star puzzle, so we'll see how this goes. But the puzzle that we are starting with is the 4-color theorem. Funnily enough, I've done a puzzle called the 4-color theorem by Jay Dyer in chat before, but I've not, Tristan assures me, done the 4-color theorem by starwarigami. Hey, Ace of Spades, I hope you're doing well. Acid Helm, Plunk Time, I hope everyone is doing well. So we get to do this in a second. So this was the most voted for puzzle. It was voted for by Nordy, Chef of Death, Ken, Doomdiat, Luda, Russ, David, and DDX. So thank you very much to all of you for your support. If you did not know, if you support at the appropriate level, you get used to, you get to look at the puzzles in the bucket, and you get to vote for puzzles you want to see. And you can have as many votes as you want. So a bunch of people vote for these sorts of things. I see Naverio pointing out, by the way, in the chat that I have not yet done my video of my best puzzles of 2023. That is still something I'm going to do, probably. I intend to do it. I did all the advanced work for it, so I'm going to do that. Anyway, it is appropriate that I do a puzzle called the 4-color theorem today, since I just started teaching combinatorics for the first time in a while today. In fact, it's my first time teaching combinatorics since I got into puzzles, believe it or not. So I probably get to layer in some Heiawake yin-yang theorems into my combinatorics course. Starwarigami, by the way, is here, as well as Thomas and Lakia. So great. Yeah, it might take a lot of snacks to get through this one. So the rules here are actually pretty simple. We have normal killer rules, so we can't repeat digits in cages. Each cage sums to one of 4 colors. Sorry, one of 4 colors. Oh boy, this is going to be great. One of 4 totals, and no 2 touching cages may have the same total. So we're going to get to color all the cages in the 4 colors. I'm going to start with box 5, and then I will revert if I need to. But I'm going to just name the 4 colors for now, like that. And then look at it and see if there's anything I see that would help immediately from that. So it is very important to note that green is a single-digit total. And so we're going to have to keep track of, because we know there's at least one digit. Hey, Ryan, I hope you're doing well. There's at least one total that is not a single-digit total. Oh, right, bet tree. I could put down a bet tree. Do you have a recommended bet tree, starwarigami, for this year-old puzzle that randomly appeared? If not, I will just pick something. But anyway, a 5-cell sum can't be a single digit. It's got to be at least 2 digits. So we know there is at least one double-digit total and at least 2 single-digit totals, as Lakia points out, because obviously these are single digits as well. So it's going to be important to keep track of that as we go on. We might have to do something more sophisticated as we go on thinking about that. Okay, so this cage is yellow. Let's start with that. So this is the single-digit total thing. So this cage touches blue and purple. So by the rules, it's neither blue nor purple. It can't be green because the total of green is a single total, but this one is not a single digit. So this one is definitely yellow. So we have that. Let's see. So now this is it's not green, it's not purple, and it's not yellow. So this cell is now blue because it touches purple and yellow and it sees green by sudoku, of all things. So this cell is blue. And now this is yellow. We have proven Jay Dyer's point, because this is a 5-cell cage, so it's not green and it's not blue, and it touches purple. So it's not green, blue, or purple, so it is yellow, as Jay Dyer has foretold. So we have that. Okay. Hey, Naverio, I hope you're doing well. let's see. Do I have anything else? Like this kind of wants to be green. It's certainly not blue or yellow. So, oh, it's not purple either. Sorry, purple's not a single digit sum. I am very wise. Purple is not a single digit sum because it's at least 10. So therefore, this is only green because, again, yellow and purple aren't single digit and blue's already in the box. So this is definitely green. Okay. So this is a double digit sum, Garion points out. And it is a double digit sum that's not yellow. And so it can't be green. It can't be blue. Oh, did we get a bet tree? Or are we just putting one down? I can just put one down. Like that one seems good. This is a double digit sum that's not yellow. A double digit sum that's not yellow, so it is going to be purple, per Garion's point. There's only two single digit sums. Tristan wants me to find this setting. I have no idea where the setting is. I'm happy to find it. Let's see. No, I'm not going to be able to find it. Tristan can tell me where it is when Tristan finds it. This cell has to be blue because it's not green and there's only two single digit sums. And then this one is green. Tristan says it's up. Oh, bet tree theme. There we go. Okay, so now this is either yellow or green. Oh, this sees three colors. This now sees purple, green, and yellow. So this is blue. This is either green or purple, I suppose. Oh, this also is purple because this sees every color but purple. While we are at things that see every color but purple. This is a double-digit sum that's not yellow. So by virtue of being a double-digit sum that's not yellow, it's purple. If we look at that. Let's see. And so this is either yellow or blue, I suppose, while we are sort of continuing our coloring. And I do know this is blue or green. I'm just going to put it that way to remind myself that it's blue or green, because it might be interesting to note this. These are two distinct non-blue colors for whatever it is worth. So I have to think about that. I don't think I anywhere else have four cages that all touch each other like I did before. Lakia says, low-hanging fruit done. Now we have to think. Oh, no. I'm trying to decide if yellow could still be 15 or something like that. I am not sure. The largest yellow can be is 17, actually. So maybe I should sort of keep in mind, yellow can only be 15, 16, or 17. If yellow is 15 or 16, those two digits are the same. So we have that to keep in mind. Otherwise, yellow is 17, and these are an 8-9 pair. Don't quite see what to do with that yet. I suspect it's going to be 15 or 16. I'm looking at like the secret over here, but I'm not quite sure what to do with it. Oh, same is true for purple, actually. Hi, Selena. Bye, Selena. So that's a good point. So one of purple and yellow is 15 or 16, at least, maybe both. So that is interesting. Oh, that's a good point. I actually know, Todd has a good point, that this actually tells me that yellow plus purple plus green plus blue is 45. And so these definitely can't be a blue-green pair. Because if these were a blue-green pair, then uh, this cell would equal the sum of all of yellow. So in particular, if this was blue, it would make that be green. And so this can't be blue, and so therefore it is yellow, as Naverio says. Sure. That was a very genius point that I feel did not immediately reward us in the way that I had hoped. Let's see. What is 16 plus 17 plus... What's the maximum these things? Like, there's probably some max-min thing going on here. I certainly know that these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I should turn my number pad on. Because of that. Oh, Jay Dyer had a point. I didn't even see Jay Dyer's point. Yellow and green are at least 15 and 16. So, sorry, yellow and purple. This is Jay Dyer's point. These sum to at least 31. So these sum to at most 14. I agree with that. Let's see. It's going to be awfully hard for there not to be a 9 in this cage, but I think it can just barely get away with there not being a 9 in the cage. Perhaps. I do know blue is at least 6. So blue is 6, 7, 8, or 9, for what it's worth. So similar. I don't think we know that. Do we, Matt? Because if we... What if these are two different ways of making the same sum? Oh, no. It's because of box. It's because of this box. Yes, we do. It's because of this box. Right. Because if I took these, the point, Matt's point is I know these sum to 45, and I know these sum to 45, so we can, in fact, catch up. Good point. Okay, so we can catch up regardless of whether yellow is 15, 16, or 17. And so the ketchup lands over here somewhere. Let's see. Jay Dyer says these can't be green. Do I know that green is at most 5 or something? Or is it that I know that these sum to at least 15? Oh, it's that I know that these sum to at least 15. Got it. Okay, that's beautiful. Good spot to Jay Dyer. So Jay's previous point is blue plus green is at least 14 because of this box, but these cells sum to at least 15, and these sum to at least 21. So neither of these is green. So these are not blue and they're not green, so they're yellow or purple. And so these, in fact, are a yellow-purple pair. Oh, and this one's not yellow, actually, because it touches yellow. And so this one is yellow because of that. I think I did that right. Right, this wasn't blue and it wasn't green. Yeah, and this was not blue, green, or yellow. So yeah, okay, yeah, that all worked out. Okay. Row 7, column 7 must be green to make the box 9 sum work. Do I know that this is blue already? I feel like I'm being told this is blue, but I don't think I know that this is blue. I mean, I probably do if I think about it the right way. see. J. Dyer says the digit equal to green has to go in the blue cage in box 2. Or box 2 sums to too little. So wouldn't it box 2 sum to more if I put green outside of blue? I feel like the box would sum to more if I put green outside of blue. Oh, but this cell can't possibly be green, because if this cell is green, oh yeah, we're totally dropping frames. Yep. One. Hey, Kodak. Although I fear you probably can't hear me because we're dropping frames like crazy now. But this definitely isn't green. As Garian says, these two sum to green. Okay, I think we are now dropping too many frames. I'm gonna go to be right back and hope it clears up. And be back in a moment, hopefully. All right. I am now in slightly lower resolution, but theoretically, we are now not dropping frames, so that should help a lot. So I am attempting to process the points from before. So the single cell green, we know these two are the same digit. And we argued it doesn't go there, so it goes in one of these 3 cells, is what we know about the single cell green. Does it do something over in this box? I don't think it quite does, as best I can tell. Let's see. Hey, Sarah, how are you doing? Do I know if this is blue or green? I don't think I do yet. As best I can tell. I probably should, but I don't. Let's see. I know this isn't purple. This could be purple. I need to make sure I don't accidentally screw this up. Isn't green row 2, column 4 by Sudoku? Oh, there's another green. Yes, there's another green. There we go. Okay. We have now discovered the thing that J. Dyer and Garian have seen that I have missed this entire time, which is that there's a green down there. So, in fact, when I said that's not green, it does actually force this to be green. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a green there. And so that means this isn't green because that is the green digit. There we go. Okay. So that is therefore blue. Yes, green ketchup indeed. Let's see. If the uncolored cage in the box is green, then row 7, column 7 is blue, and that digit R is already in there. Right. So this cage, that's beautiful. Okay, so this cage can't be green because, again, the sum of all the colors is 45, and so Sean's point is if this is green, then that's blue, but that's already the blue for the row. So this is not green, so therefore it is blue. So we've got that, which is all very nice. Row 7, column 7 is green circle, correct. Now this is green circle, as Tristan says, because of, again, the fact that these plus green sum to 45. Green ketchup is salsa or guacamole, or is it relish? It could be relish. Although, frankly, I'd rather have the guacamole. Let's see. One of those over there is green. Let's see. This is green or purple, I suppose. Therefore, the top left of box 9 is green. Yep. Green is less than 6, or green plus blue would be at least 15. Right. So if green was 6, this would be at least 9, which would be too big. So green is at most 5 because of this. If green is 5, this cage can still sum to 8. And then we can get to then we can still get to our maximum of 14. So hey, Isaiah, I hope you're doing well. And as Jay Dyer points out, that means no 3-cell is green, because green, let me write it here just for the record, green is too small to be in a 3-cell cage. So this 3-cell is not green, and it's not purple or blue, so therefore this is definitely yellow. Let's see. So this is not yellow, and it's not green. Let's see. And this is not yellow or green. Okay, so these, I guess it's worth marking, since they're neither yellow nor green. These, in fact, are a blue-purple pair. For whatever that is worth. Green sees the whole yellow cage at the bottom. Ah, it does. So yellow is not 15, is the point. And that also is going to make green bigger, because Lakia's point is green is not in this cage, which sums to at most 17. And so I didn't want to mark this before because I thought it would be ridiculous, but it's now worth marking. This cage definitely contains 1, 2, and 3, because if you don't contain 1, 2, and 3, your sum is bigger than 17. 1 plus 2 plus 4, 5, 6 would be 18. And so that means certainly green is not 1, 2, or 3, but it also means that yellow is no longer summing to 15, which means we can take this out, because yellow is certainly not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or that would break. So that means there now is a 9 up here, which unfortunately does not tell me that blue isn't 9. J. Dyer says, and blue isn't 6. Ah, right, because this blue cell also sees the entirety of yellow in a weird convoluted way because that cell is that cell. So this blue cell sees the entire cage. I'm trying to understand why that means blue isn't 6, though. Uh, couldn't yellow still be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7? Yeah, yellow could still be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and that would still leave 6 available for blue. Oh, it's because green circle is in blue. Right. I see. Okay, sorry. I was looking at a completely different deduction. Uh, this green circle is in blue, so blue now can't be 6, is Jay Dyer's point. So blue is at least 7. Selena wants to know if we should mark 4, 5 in all the green circles or not. I'm always mixed on whether to do that or not. I don't know yet. I'll do it now, though, because I think Selena would like it. I don't know if I like it yet. Almost assuredly, this cell is blue, but it doesn't completely have to be. But it seems very likely to be. Otherwise, blue is in one of these two. Do I know that purple isn't 15? I don't think so, because I don't think I know that green isn't there. J40 asks if we know that the rest of box 8 is 7, 8, 9. I think there can be a 7 in this yellow cage, because it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, right? I agree that 8 and 9 are trapped in these cells, but I think it's okay if the 7 is in the yellow cage. Let's see. So, Screaming Ice Cube summarizes our minimum. Purple is minimum 15. Yellow is minimum 16, so that's 31. Green is minimum 4, that's 35. Blue is minimum 7, that's 42. So we've got sort of 3 degrees of freedom bouncing around all of these assorted cages. Let's see. This is not... I kind of want to just color these with the options, just in case it sort of forces a cycle. This isn't green or blue. So this is... sorry, this isn't green or purple. So this is yellow or blue. And this is not blue or green. So this is yellow or purple. And this one is certainly green or purple. There's might be some sort of like 3 cycle going on through there. For whatever that's worth. There is, I don't completely see it yet, though. Let's see. J. Dyer pointing out that because blue sums to at most 9, I know these two sum to at most 5, which means they're from 1, 2, 3, 4. Jay says they can't be 4, because if they were 4, this would be 5, and that would be too big. So they're actually only from 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a smart spot from Matt. This cell, where does it go in this box? And the answer is actually, do I want to make this red X? Red X can't go into yellow, because if red X goes into a 5-cell yellow cage, the other digits sum to at most 10, or sorry, at least 10, and then yellow is too much. And so, well, in particular, then this digit would be at least 10. So that means that the only place it can go is actually there. So that cell is a 7, 8, 9. And so that digit definitely goes there. That cell is a 7, 8, 9. Good spot to mat there. Let's see. This 1, 2, 3 here, this was Jay Dyer's point. This 1, 2, 3 is definitely in this cage. I don't think I know whether it's red circle or not, though. So this is either there or there. Same with row 4, column 4. Do I know for sure this isn't blue? Oh, you're saying it is blue. So it goes in one of these cells. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's, couldn't it be red circle? I think it could be red circle. I think this cell could be red circle. I don't think I know that red circle isn't 7. Oh no, this is in a yellow cage. I don't know why in my brain this didn't sum to yellow. Yep. These two sum to yellow. So yeah, so again, yeah, this can't repeat in yellow. Still can't be in yellow. It's not there. And why isn't it in this purple sum? Oh, because it sums to purple. It sums to yellow with the red X. Right. Yellow is not purple. Right. Okay. So these two are also the same. They can be green X's. Okay. And so this is also green X. That's also green X. Okay. So yeah. So, yeah, and certainly green X could go in here. There's no prohibition on that now. Yeah, the yellow is not purple is the piece I was missing. The yellow is not purple piece is very cool. I'm trying to understand Jay Dyer's point that this is the same as that. I don't yet. I think it involves thinking about what happens if this is 7, 8 and ruling out that case. But I don't quite see it in my head. Let's see. Oh, I know yellow isn't 15. Right. I know yellow isn't 15. That's the thing that's being used. So this is a red X, green X combination because once yellow is not 15, it's either 16 or 17. And so it is unique. So this is, and I know where the green X goes because there's a green X in the column. So this is the green X, and this is the red X. Okay. Well, whichever of these has the green X in it, it's not blue. I am prepared to say that. This digit also has to be pretty big, because it has to be at least 6. Because purple is at least 15, so this needs to be at least 6 just to make that work. Oh, we have 4 green X's looking into box 6, points out Jay Dyer. So that is green X. And Sarah as well also saw that. So row 8, column 2 can't be 9 because it would make green X 9. Oh, row 8, column 5 can't be 9 because it would make green X 9. Right. If this is 9, that's 9. Yeah, so I agree with Globaglob. This cell's definitely not 9 because of the interaction, because of the fact that there's a 9 corner marked into this cage. Uh, 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 oh, these sum to different things. Or these are different sums. The fact that these are different 4-cell sums to yellow minus red circle has to be interesting, right? So yellow minus red circle, I guess I don't know anything about the value of red circle, but it's interesting. Uh, uh, 16 cell and 5 sums is unique, right? Okay. Right. So I guess the way to say it that makes it nicer, that Garion has said, is what I should say is these two sums are different, and so therefore yellow can't be 16. I was stuck on thinking about it as being these 4 cells, but it's actually these 5 cell cages are different. So yellow is in fact 17, is the point. So these are all 8, 9. That's not an 8. That's an 8 or a 9. Okay, now I was looking at Garion's point, which is also cool. Green circle can't go in here, because if green circle goes in here, the sum isn't green, but it's not purple either, because purple is a minimum of 15. So green circle is actually placed here. This is all predicated on green circle being 4, 5. But that is a good point. Getting a lot of green circles in the grid. 7654 is huge, right? Yeah, there's no like now the maximum of purple is smaller or anything like that, I don't think. So one of these cages does have a 7 in it, right? One of these cages does have a 7 in it. Can I do anything with the fact that one of these does have a 7? I don't know. I don't think I have any cells that see the entirety of these that I can sort of immediately figure out. Jay Dyer pointing out the intersection of the two yellow 15 or yellow 17 sums is 1, 2, 3, because one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and one is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and therefore yellow circle has to be from 1, 2, 3. Which is reasonable. Hey, Drilier. I hope you're doing well. Looking to see if that was going to force yellow circle up here somewhere, but I don't think so yet. Uh, uh, Globba Glob doing math on this cell. It doesn't immediately, although it makes me worried that I'm supposed to do a like 4 + 4 is 8 avoidance or something like that, but I'm not quite sure. I don't quite see it yet. Yeah, this cell is in yellow in column 7. I agree with that. So the other 3 digits in here sum to this 6, 7, right? Still to come, Dorlier. I made the list and I have not yet done the stream of it. Row 3 or 5. Let's see. Okay, I want to understand Globba Glob's point. So this plus green. These sum to 45. These sum... Sorry, no. These sum to 45 minus green. And these sum to 45. So that means... oh boy, I hate doing this in my head. These sum to 45 minus green, and these sum to 45, and therefore this needs to be this minus green. So yeah, so this is 3, 4, or 5. I think I got the same thing. Jay Dyer suggesting I make a top hat out of it, and it makes the math a little bit easier. So yeah, the sum of these two is red X. Let's try that again. Okay, so this is, these all sum to 45 plus red X. So therefore, and these all, and that's also 45 plus red, or sorry, so therefore this is red X is the point. The sum of these two is red X. Unfortunately, it doesn't get me anything else, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, I've got my 8, 9 pair for this column already, so I don't have to worry about that. So the purple sum in 5 is unique and definitely includes 1, 2, 3, 4, because remember, purple sums to 15 or 16. So these are definitely for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and definitely include 1, 2, 3, 4. So if green circle is 4, then that goes there. Is green circle always in blue or always in purple? I don't think I know that yet. Let's see. I do not know, Selena. I do not know. Let's see. Red X in box 1. So red X in box 1 is definitely in one of these two cells, points out Eckbert. And so red X down here in this box is in one of this mess of cells. Unfortunate. Let's see. Red X down here, though, is definitely in one of those two cells, for whatever that is worth. It at least rules it out of there. Let's see. Gary says if row 3, column 7 is 3, it makes red X 8. Right, because these would be 3 and 5 in that instance, because these two sum to red X. So if this is 3, it's 3 plus 5 is 8. But then box 5 math makes green also 8. That part I don't understand. Because I don't know the sum of purple and blue yet. See, Selena says it is blue plus green is at most 13. I do believe blue plus green is at most 13 because now that yellow is 17, I believe that. But I don't see how that gets to Garian's point. Let's see. If red X is 8, then row 8, column 5 has to be 7. I agree with that assessment. So Garian is going sort of like all the way through all of this math. So Garian's point is if this is 8, it makes this sum 15 plus 17 is 32. So it makes these sum to 13. And I still don't see how that gets me anything. So I still don't. I still don't. I think understand the point. Okay, so the point was to go back to this being 3. So if this is 3, red X is 8. And once red X is 8, then it makes this be 7. So Oh, and it makes green circle 5. Uh, uh, let's see. See, J40 says if this is pink, we have pink plus yellow plus blue, and 3 more cells that add to green. So if this is pink, it makes that yellow, and that's blue. Oh, wow. Yep, that's true. Yeah. So if this is pink, this is pink, yellow, and blue, and so then the rest of the box would add to green. So J40's point is these 3 would add to green, but green is at most 5, so it's not a sum of 3. So this is not pink. It is green. And so therefore, these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, certainly by virtue of being green. Okay, J. Dyer is trying to put this as concisely for me as possible. If green circle is 5, so first of all, if green circle is 4, it's definitely in the purple cage because 1, 2, 3, and 4 are definitely in the purple cage regardless. If green circle is 5, then we've said that means blue is 8. This is back to the deduction. I don't think I understand why that means blue is 8 and not blue is 9. There's a connection missing in my brain, or more than one, as the case may be. Let's see. Because yellow is 17. So 7. So the point is these have to add to at least 21. So these need to add to at least 24. No, that's, or at most 24. No, I don't think that works. I'm missing a, I am missing a thing. I do agree with Matt that this digit now has to be very high, because if I actually wrote in the candidates here, I did, Selena, but I no longer remember why, and so I no longer can use it. But I agree with Matt now that if we're counting low digits, how many low digits are there in here? So this cage has to have 4 digits that are at most 5. So there are 3 digits that are at most 5 in here, and then that's the rest of the digits that are at most 5. So this digit's only 6 or 7. And so this digit is only 1, 2, or 3. Okay. We've got that. That seemed very useful. Maybe it's not actually useful, but it seemed useful at the time. So J. Dyer's putting it as 5 plus 8 plus 15 plus 17 is 45. So you can't make anything bigger than that. So if green is 5, it forces blue to be at most 8, because yeah, so if green is 5, it forces everything, I guess is what J. Dyer is saying. Because if green is 5, now the minimum this box can sum to is 45. As 5, 8, because again, as soon as green is 5, it makes this minimum, it makes blue minimum 8. So it actually eats up sort of 2 degrees of freedom at once. And our third degree of freedom was eaten when we found that yellow actually summed to 17. So this is a very, very, very long way of saying that if green is 5, it also needs to show up in the 14 cage, or sorry, in the purple cage, because if green is 5, then purple sums to 15. So this is green circle. So we can get that as green circle. And so that's going to place green circle here just by sudoku. Green circle also in box 6. Yes, green circle also in box 6. So let's go back to this. So if this is green, if this is a 3, then green circle is 5. It's a 3, then green circle. Why does this being a 3 make green circle 5? Oh, because these two sum to that, right? Okay, so if this is a 3, green circle is 5, red X is 8. But green X is also 8, right? Okay, so I finally understand the point here. And so we actually get a 4-5 pair. And now that's actually relevant. So I finally have understood Garian's point. And it's... I guess it doesn't quite tell us what's going on. It does tell us there's definitely a 3 up here for whatever that's worth. Green X is now in row 8, column 2. Yes. Okay, so green X is here. Okay, and so green X is part of this sum. So this is definitely not summing to blue anymore because green X is blue due to poor notational choices that I have made. And so now that that's purple, this is blue. And so this sums to at most 9. So these are from 1, 2, 3 at most. And they're the same 1, 2, 3s as those 1, 2, 3s, I think. Right. We have the top hat sum. Right. The top hat sum was that these two summed to that because of our 45 rule. And so now red X is 9. And so we get to have our 9 dance. We will bring out Zach. Boop 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 woo. Boop boop wah. Boop boop wee. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So yellow X, therefore, is 8. Sorry, yellow X. There's no yellow X. Green X, therefore, is 8. And I can get rid of all the X's, I believe. I'm surprised I realized it was the first digit. I usually don't in puzzles like this. Oh, I'm supposed to put an 8 here as well. Because of that. Yeah, it's been a while since we took an hour to get the first digit. Okay. And yet, strangely, I think that still didn't tell me anything. Let's see. This is yellow or purple. Should I like do Sudoku on 8s or something? I might be able to do Sudoku on 8s. I think I can do Sudoku. Oh no, I can't quite. 8 is in one of those two. Wasn't yellow never going to contain both 4 and 5? Aren't the options 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, the yellow. Unfortunately, yellow is never going to contain both 4 and 5. Uh, so unfortunately, I think that means that this 4-5 pair doesn't buy us anything. Uh, let's see. I can catch up column 7. Oh, I can catch up in column 7. Oh, that's very nice, because the ketchup can't repeat in the cage. So we can extend our ketchuping over to here. Makes it seem very likely that this is ketchup, but who knows? Yeah, several people spotted the ketchup in column 7. I am impressed. Ketchup is definitely in one of these. Ketchup is definitely in one of these cells, because ketchup needs to appear in the purple cage for sure. So ketchup is over there for whatever that is worth. I don't quite know what to do with that yet. Oh, I do know these two sum to 8. So maybe that's worth thinking about. Oh, I know these 3 sum to 8 as well. Ah, yes, and that gets me Selena's point that this isn't 3, because blue now is 8. I missed that blue is 8. So these are 1, 7, 2, 6, or 3, 5. Hooray. But there's always a 1 in it because of the sum. So there's 1 sort of dancing around over there. Now, if this was a 1, there'd be a 1 here, and I'd have a Zackwing on 1s, which would make green 4. Weirdly. So if this is a 1, this is a 3. Okay. See, J40 claims we need a 1, 2, 3 in here, because otherwise it's a minimum of 4, 6, 7. Right, because of that. This 4, 5 is not in it. So 4, 6, 7 is 17, and we know purple is only 15 or 16. So the other 1, 2, 3 is down here, whichever one it is, which I guess now means that these are from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those aren't 8. Let's see. Sayori says we need a 4. Ah, yes, we definitely need a 4, right. Because otherwise, these are a minimum of 5, 6, 7. That's huge. Okay, good spot to Sayori out of nowhere. By the way, welcome, Sayori. But if there's no 4 in here, these sum to a minimum of 18, and we know yellow doesn't sum to 18. So that's actually very big. So now green circle is, in fact, 5, which is very helpful because we have all the green circles in the entire grid. So we can get rid of the green circles now. Okay, and so now I know that that's a 4, and I know that these are 1, 2, so there's no 3 in them. I know there is a 3 here. I know those are not 5. Okay. Oh, and once there's a 5 in purple, that means that purple sum is 15. Because if purple sum was 16, there would not be a 5 in it. So these are, in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's not the 4, of course. So we've got that now. And so that means, oh, I guess that doesn't tell me anything new immediately. Oh, green has become 5. Who knew? No one told me. Green has become 5, so red circle has become not 1. Ah, yes. There we go. There's where I can use the fact that purple is 15, Sayori points out. That is a 6, which makes that a 7 and a 1 over there. This is definitely not a 1. Anyway. These two need to add to 7. And they're not 2, 5. And they're not 1, 6. So these two have to be 3, 4. Because the 1 and 6 are in the row. So these two are 3, 4. Which is going to disambiguate that red circle is 2. And then we can clean up the red circles. And so that's a 1 and a 2. A bit unfortunate there, honestly. No 2s over there. No 1 there. These are supposed to sum to 11, and they have a 3 in them, so they better be 3 and 8, Todd points out, and we actually know the order. Oh, that was a 3, by the way. Let's see. 6 and 8. Okay, so let's see. Selena is encouraging me to check whether these sum to 11 or to 12. And so I think Selena's claim is they don't add to 11 because it would be 5, 7, 4, 8, or 3, 9, and all of them are impossible. So therefore, this has to sum to 11. Sorry, these two have to sum to 10 instead to make that work. And so if these two do sum to 10, they have to be 1 and 9, right? And with what's left in the box, it looks to me like they have to be 1 and 9, when actually that is resolved. Which is going to come over there and do some damage. This has apparently become uniquely a 2. These have become a 3, 4 pair, which has made that a 1. Good. Okay. This can't sum to blue anymore because it doesn't have a 1 in it, and every 3-cell sum to 8 has a 1 in it. So this now sums to yellow, and we have completed the coloring. This is the yellow cage with a 5. And so the yellow cage with a 5 was 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So these are 1, 3, and 6. And the other yellow cage was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. So we've got all of that. None of those are 1s, so that is the 1 for what it is worth. That's not a 7. So this is now a write-in of a 2 randomly. Oh, these are a pair of 6 and 7, which sum to 13, making that a 4 for what it is worth. Let's see. Do I know anything about this yet? I don't think so. 3 and 4 in column 1, Pint-Sat Sayori. That's smart. We've got Zackwing on both 3s and 4s, ruling 3 and 4 out of all of those cells. So 3 and 4 go here, making that 3 and a 4, making that a 6. Do we finally know what this is? It's not 2, 6 or 3, 5. This is 1, 7. Good spot to good spot to Todd. So it's 7 and 1, 3 and 1. That 7 goes up there. That 4, 6 pair gives me that this is a 3. These two add to 13 without being 5, 8, or 4, 9. So they must be 6, 7. I think someone said that in chat a while ago. This is a naked something. In fact, actually, let me just mark the grid now. Probably will help. So that is a 4, a 6, and a 2, apparently. 2, 7, 9, 6, 7. 4 goes in over there. 9 over there. 9 over there. Let us have Mark update some of the stuff. That 3, 4 pair has made that a 6 and a 4 and a 6 and a 1 and a 7 and a 6 and a 9 and a 7, 3 and 6, 3, that's not a 3, 3 and 4 and 7, 3 and 4, 4 and 3. And the bet tree after all of that is an 8. Woo boy, that was quite the adventure as puzzles go. The beginning was very smooth, and then we got stuck, and according to the setter, we did not follow their intended solve path, but we got there eventually. So we made it through the end, but we kind of futzed it there in the last part, is my my understanding of what has happened. Alrighty, I'm going to take a quick break, stretch a little bit, and I will be back shortly with another puzzle. So stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you so much, Pause, for donating. Sorry, the timing didn't work out. I just disappeared, but Pause donated just because I can and because Zeta and Tristan deserve it. Heart. Oh, thank you so much, Pause. Let me get you a donation dance. Boop 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 doop boop 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 doop doop boop 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 doop doop boop boop. Woohoo! Boop doop doop boop doop doop. Woohoo! Thank you so much, Pause. Great to have you here. I hope you have been doing well. Let's see. So what we have here is a double arrow by James Sinclair. So we have a few other bonus rules, a few guest stars in our double arrow puzzle. So First of all, the double arrow, the way it works, pause donating during a pause is kind of appropriate. It does make sense, Codec, in a way. Along these maroon lines, the sum of the digits along the maroon lines is the same as the sum of the digits in the circle. Oh, I'm sorry, it's been a rough day, pause. I hope tomorrow is a better day, hopefully. Yes, and the rules very cleverly say that these digits are all the same, which is the way the region sum lines work. So it's kind of like a region sum lines or like a 3-cell palindrome or like... I guess James really did not want to use 2 1-cell arrows sort of standing in the middle of the double arrow. And then the white dots separate things that are consecutive. I'll just drop the bet tree over down here and try to avoid it. Although, again, somehow our bet tree theme keeps changing. We will do that. Oops. Sorry, that. Okay, so the immediate thing, the sort of free thing, is that the minimum this giant double arrow can sum to is 18, but that's also the maximum. So those all have to be 1, 2, 3, and those both have to be 9. And we get to do a second 9 dance of the day. Boop-boop-a-doop, woohoo! Ba-doop-a-doop, wah! Ba-doop-a-doop, wee! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. We got our first digit faster in this puzzle than in the previous puzzle. Yes, I giggled as soon as I read the rules wording. I was thinking that these had to be at least 4 plus 5, but that's not actually super exciting. Maybe is this super exciting? I guess I know these are from 1, 2, 3 as well, so I might as well percolate. Hey, Manu. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. So these are at least 4 plus 5. Yeah, I'm trying to get some additional pressure somewhere, but I have not yet found the additional pressure. Yeah, do we want to color the 1, 2, 3s? We probably can color 1, 2, 3s. So this is one of the 1, 2, 3s, at the very least. And so it's there. And let's see. It's up here somewhere. Don't quite know where yet. Yeah, and so we've got a similar thing going on here where, like, this is at least 4 plus 5, which tells us this is definitely at least 0. Night, pause. I hope you enjoy the blanket pile. I, too, am very fond of curling up in blanket piles, especially at this time of year. Okay, so am I supposed to think about these two together? Is that somehow going to be useful? Because the minimum of these together is 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 22. That doesn't sound like I'm getting anywhere, but let's see. So the absolute minimum, these 4 circles together sum to, is 22 plus 2 is 24. Plus 2 is 26. I don't think that quite does it. Does it? I think I might be able to improve that a little bit. I don't think I can improve it a lot. Oh, actually, I'm noticing these digits can't be larger than 6, so I should at least use that. So when I'm actually combining these circles, the largest they could possibly be is 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 8 plus 9 is 29. So actually my 26 doesn't sound that bad once I realize that. So let's do this again, and let's be more careful this time. So I think the minimum these can be is 4, 5, 6, 7, which is, again, 22. Plus 1 is 24. But now this is plus 2 is 28. And again, the maximum they could be was 12 plus 17 is 29. So we have 1 degree of freedom here. So these are from 5, 6, and these are from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and these are from 1, 2, 3, because basically what I did was to say these minimize out at each being a 1, 2 pair, but they... Well, this one certainly can't be 3, because if I make this one 3, don't I eat too many degrees of freedom? Maybe not, actually. It might be okay if that's 3. Only just. But if this is 5 or 6, it's kind of interesting for this, because it means I definitely need an 8 up here, because 7 plus 6 is only 13. So there's definitely an 8, and these are from 6, 7, 8. If this is a 5, then it's 6, 8. If this is a 6, then it's 7, 8. Just to make that work. I briefly had a flash of, is it true that these can't both be 6? Because of what that would do to 6 in this box. But I don't think it's a problem, actually. I think it's okay if these just get placed in those cells. Now, these, I should say, those are from 7, 8, 9, because, again, I sort of maxed them out at being 8, 9. So we've got that. The 9 in this box can't go on this line, so the 9 definitely goes in one of these corners. Now, Eckbert has a good point that I can actually do a little bit of finagling with this cell. This cell can't go on the double arrow because of the double arrow trick, as I have come to think of it. If this goes here, then I would need a second 9 to go with it in order to sum there, but I can't have a second 9. So in fact, this green always goes here. And likewise, this 5, 6 goes there, but I can't color it because I don't know if it's the same or different as green. It would be cute if I somehow knew that they had to be different, because that would sort of solve everything, but it has not quite done that. Okay. That's very nice. So Sayori has a digit for us, which is that now I need to place a 9 in this column, but I can't place it on the dot anymore because this cell can be neither 8 nor 9. So this cell is a 9. Which is very fancy. And now we have our degree of freedom eaten alive, because now the 8 in the column... Oh, crap. No, I was going to say the 8 in the column can't go here, but the 8 can. The 8 can go there with an 8 and a 7, I think is just barely okay. Otherwise, the 8 has to go here. But darn, I think the 8 in the column is just able to sneak onto this white dot as long as it's 8 there and 7 there. Funnily enough, that eats our degree of freedom either way, because either I eat the degree of freedom by forcing an 8 into one of these cells, or I eat the degree of freedom by making this a 5. Let's see. So we've got that. Okay, so Kurobon encouraging us to do more coloring on 1, 2, 3s. So I'm going to make this the purple 1, 2, 3. And the point is, this is not the purple or the yellow 1, 2, 3. So this can be the orange 1, 2, 3. So that's the orange 1, 2, 3. That's also the orange 1, 2, 3. let's see. Can I extend this any further? Well, that's the orange 1, 2, 3 as well. Box 8's orange. Right, box 8's orange is definitely here. Good spot. Oh, well, that's the orange for here, because I know one of these two is orange. So when I look into this box, that's not orange, so that's definitely orange. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We got there. Eventually. So Garion is encouraging us to think about the two cases where we've lost the degree of freedom. I'll admit this is purely setter logic, but I wasn't doing that because this is a James Sinclair puzzle, and I'm used to James Sinclair puzzles not requiring that kind of thing. I am noticing one of these is definitely a 9, both by Sudoku and by our previous logic. So in the world where the 8 is in this box, I need these to be 8, 9 because my sum is going up by 1. And I need these to be 1, 2 because I've already used the 8. Right, I've already used my sort of extra, and so that would be a 3. In the world where the 8 is up here and this is a 5, now the total of these things is too small for me to accommodate a 3 in either of these positions. So Garion's point is basically, no matter which way I eat the degree of freedom, none of these are 3s, and so that is a 3. I think I believe that. Though please tell me in chat if I am wrong. It is, but I think that's very believable to me. So orange and yellow are a 1, 2 pair. I think that is true. And so these need to be an 8, 9 pair for much the same reason. Because either this is down by 1 or the sum is up by 1, but in either case, I don't have an actual thing there. Sweet Blues agrees. By the way, welcome, Sweet Blues. Nice screen name, and welcome. Yellow in column 6 is definitely here. I agree with that from Eckbert. Right. So Kyle is looking at whether I can really put a 3 on this dot. Because of 4 in box 7 of all things. Wow, impressive. So the 4 pointing over from box 7, Kyle points out, rules 3 out of these cells because of the triple and off of this dot. So therefore, this just is a 3, which makes that a 3. Very good spotting there. Making that yellow. Let's see. Oh, wow, that's glorious. Okay, I like that. So imagine that this digit is green. This is Sayori's point. Then that digit's green. And so all of these are the same color, and so they're ruled out just by Sudoku from those cells in row 5, but there's nowhere else in row 5 for it to go. So in fact, this can't be green. It's got to be something else. That's very cool. So these are red, let's say. And so that's where our degree of freedom got eaten. So the sum is 1 less, so I can't have the 8 here anymore, which means, in fact, my 8 does have to go here with an 8 and a 7 in the column, because an 8 there would bump up the quantity by too much. These are just an 8-9 pair. But now we know that this is summing to 14, which makes green, in fact, 5, and red, in fact, 6. Sorry, red, you did not get to exist in the puzzle for very long. And so, indeed, as they say, this is now 7-8. This is now 6-8. Apparently, these aren't 7 anymore. That's not 5, and that's not 6. Okay, so now this dot needs an even, which is not 2, 4, or 6. And so Globaglob says the even it has must be 8. That's the only even left. And so this has to be 7, 8. I agree. Kyle points out the 6 is placed in box 2. Very good. I was trying to decide if this could be a 6. No, it can't, because the 7 in this box is looking over, similar to before. This dot can't have a 6 on it because the 5 and the 7 are gone, and therefore the 6 in this row goes there exactly, repeating some logic from earlier. Sayori has also identified that yellow is placed in box 1, which somewhat makes my observation unnecessary, but that's okay. So now yellow has to be 2, because it can't be 1 because of that. So all the yellows in the grid are 2s. All the oranges in the grids are 1s. We can get rid of the oranges, get rid of the yellows. Oh, the 3 doesn't need to continue being purple. This digit is a 3, speaking of, so that's a 1 and a 3. 3 in row 9 is there. Let's see. We can certainly finish row 2, probably. So those are a 4, 7 pair, making that a 9, making that an 8 and a 9. Meaning there's an 8 in one of these two, for what it is worth. Let's deck out some of these. Making that a 4 and a 3. These are a 7, 8, 9 triple, so none of these are 8. Those are a 1, 4, 5 triple. This is cease being able to be 4. So let us adorn these with some pencil marks while we're at it. I know one of these two is 6, for what it is worth. I probably have to think about this math now. What's the maximum these can sum to? It's 13. Plus 3 is 16. Well, that's not useful. Let's see. Sayori encourages us to place the 6 in row 5. That sounds like a good idea. So this is 4, 5, or 7. Oh, it's not 7, because the 7 in the box is definitely in this row. So this is only 4 or 5, for what it is worth. Let us throw some pencil marks over here and hope. Nope, nope, nope. Regret. Instant regret. One of these is a 1, I see, by Sudoku. I don't see quite what to do with that. Oh, these are a pair. Why don't I fill those in? They aren't 7 or 8, in fact. So that gives us a 4, 5 pair in the column, which makes that a 1. And now the 1 in the box is placed there. It's even a big one. And that's all the 1s. So now I am comfortable filling in these because they can't actually be 4 or 5 because of the pair. So they're 3, 7, or 8. Sure. This column has a 7, 8, 9 triple that I had not appreciated. So when I actually mark it, I can actually get rid of the 7 and the 8 and the 9. So these are only from 4, 5, 6, and one of them is definitely a 6. And this digit is not a 4 or 5 because there's a pair. So it's a 7 or a 9 as well, for what it's worth. Okay. If this was 5 and 8, the sum would be 13, which would mean I would need these two to add to 10, and they can't, is Sweet Blue's point, because math. 5 plus 8 would be 13, which would make these 3, which would make these 10, and it can't be 5 and 5, and it can't be 7 and 3. It's possible there was a more elegant way to see that, but that wasn't like... It wasn't horrible, but it would have taken me a long time to try it. So now these need to sum to 11. So they're either 5 and 6 or 7 and 4. So that 5 goes away. 7 and 8. And now these two need to also add to 11. And so they need to be 4 and 7 because one of them is 4 or 7. So that one's 4 and 7, making that 6 and 5. 7, 5, 8, 7, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4, 6, 8, 7, 4. And I think we can mark the rest of the grid now. 3, 5, 7, 9, 5, 2, 4, 9, 8, 6, 4. And our bet tree is a 2. So congratulations to all the 2-betters out there. May all your betting tree wishes come true. But very nice. I had not quite seen that before. I definitely was well telegraphed that I was supposed to look at the combination, and at first it didn't look like the combination was going to work. But then then everything sort of ended up working with sort of like playing with 1 degree of freedom to do. Alrighty. Very nice puzzle, though, James. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I am going to, again, take a quick break, and I'll be back shortly with another puzzle. All right, welcome back. Next up, we have an even sweeper puzzle from FJam. I do always enjoy even sweeper puzzles. So the way this works is that circles are like Minesweeper clues for even digits. So this is going to count the total number of even digits in those cells, for example. Sadly, we were not given any circles at the center of boxes, which are sort of right ends. So we'll have to work for our digits. But I am okay with this. Next up, we have our region sum lines. So in this instance, they're basically arrows. It says this cell is the same as this cell. In fact, they literally all could have been arrows if FJam had preferred. This cell is the same as this cell is the same as the sum of those two. This cell is the sum of those two, and so on. And our red lines have alternating parity all the way along the line. So first thing I'm going to note is that all of these circles that I've highlighted are all completely contained in boxes. So they're certainly at most 4. Because there's only 4 evens in total in a box, and these don't see the whole box. So we've got at least that much. Trying to see if one of these interacts in an immediately interesting way with the parity line. Annoyingly, they both see one of these is certainly even, but I don't quite see what to do with that yet. These two are the same. Sadly, it's not that kind of circle, Russ. Hey, it's Avocado. Welcome. We are attempting to solve this Sudoku puzzle. You can see the rules here above my head. Oops. I can try and point above my head. I am not as good at pointing above my head as I thought I would be. Man, I wanted guacamole earlier, and now I want it even more for some reason. I'm trying to understand what Kyle is saying about the row 8 circles. Most all cells seen exactly once in row 7, 8, and 9. Okay, I see. Okay, so the point is, if I look at these, I understand now. If I combine these sweeper clues, then their overlap, or then their total looks like this. And so the if they didn't overlap at all, I would know that their sum would be 12. But they overlap here, and it's a little more than 12 depending on how many of these are even. So that is very interesting. Yeah, I'm debating yellow-purple coloring the parity line. I'm not yet 100% sure that I'm enthusiastic about it, but I'm going to try it, because why not? So the reason why I'm giving into it is that I'm kind of interested in where the yellow is going to live, and whether the yellow is going to repeat in these circles or not. Don't know yet, but maybe we will learn something. Maybe. I don't feel I have learned anything yet, though. Let's see. Eckbert says there's an X-Wing on 4s. Is there any reason why I need one of these to be 4? Okay, so Garion has a good point, which is that the math that AFK was doing actually can be perfectly done over here, because those plus those plus those uh, add to all the circles. So it's basically these three circles, their sum is 8. So one of them is definitely 1, and these three circles, their sum is 8. So one of them is definitely 1. For whatever it is worth. Right, and so they have to be 1, 3, 4 because none of them can be as big as 5. Yeah, no offense to that other circle type, but I got a bit oversaturated on the other circle type, so I am not. I don't often add puzzles to the bucket of the other circle type. So that gets us a bunch of 1, 3, 4 triples, which is pretty cool, and seems useful. Is there some? I keep expecting there to be some, like, I guess there can't possibly be. I'm trying to see like a skyscraper or something that relates like these triples to that or something. Just because of the way the geometry here bounces around the outside of the grid suggests to me there's some classic Sudoku thing going on. Maybe there's not a classic Sudoku thing going on. That is very possible. Oh, this is a... Oh, no, sorry. This is not in the circle. Never mind. I thought this was in the circle. I mean, it is in a circle, but it is not in... So I guess it's very interesting to note one of these has to be 1. Do we know anything about which one has to be 1? So if this is 1, one of those is even and everything else is odd. For example, and I get a similar thing down here where if this is the one that's 1, so whichever of these is 1, there's 3 evens in one of these stripes. So either this is 3 evens, this is 3 evens, or this is 3 evens. Is this being 3 evens an instant problem because it's going to make that the last even? Oh, yeah, I bet that's true. Okay, I'm going to color this and see if... I'm going to yellow-purple this line. I think that's going to be the point. Hey, Mr. Don. Well, my real life was also annoyingly busy. So I can definitely relate. Okay, so this is not the 1. Because if this was the 1, these would be the last 3 evens in the box. That would mean they'd all be yellow. However, even plus even is also even, and that now I have 5 evens in the column. So I feel like for the first time I have successfully made a deduction, which is that that is not 1. Can I do exactly the same thing on the other side? I think I can do exactly the same thing on the other side. If this were 1, these would all be even, which would make that even, except if I carry along, those would be even, and that would be 5 evens in the row. That doesn't work either. Okay, so we have a 3-4 pair now. Now we do have an X-wing on 1s for anyone who is into that sort of thing. Now that we have this 3-4 pair, because now none of these cells can be 1. Because my 1s in row 2 and 8 are consumed by these cells. So I know that these are just from the rest of the digits. They aren't 1. Let's see. I will also promise these aren't 8 or 9 either. I am prepared to go that far. Okay. I was wondering if some number was like instantly ruled out of this because of the way the line works, but I don't think so. Like a 2 here puts 2 odds there. I mean, a 2 here is really awkward, but I don't think it breaks. I guess we should remember that these need to sum to at most 15 or something based on our overlapping and everything. Yeah, they sum to minimum 12 and maximum 15, as AFK says. Good. AFK and I got the same number, which I appreciate. This is certainly at least 5. Am I somehow able to, like, bridge the parities between these two is, I guess, the next question that I have to myself. Okay, I know these are sort of one of each, or 2 of each parity, I suppose. Okay, Selena thinks this can't be a 1 for the same reason. I don't think it works the same, but I'm going to try it. If this was a 1, it would say all of these were even. But I don't think that gets me any... Oh, no, it does. It does, because this is the same as this, so that would be even. And now even is even plus even. And now I would end up with this pattern for all of the evens. Is that insta-broken? That would be even, and that would be even. So... Oh, but this would be even, right? Sorry, this would be even, right? Because 1 is odd, so this would be even, and that would be a 5th even for the box. So it's not quite the same logic, but similar logic. So that's now a 3 or a 4. So one of these is a 1. Okay, so now this is definitely this is definitely like, so I need someone in chat to tell me what a 2-string kite is or something like that, I think, because the we have this link of one of these is 1, but also this link of one of these is 1 that is assuredly relevant somehow. We do have this Zackwing on 1s, which is forcing 1 into one of these cells, and it's definitely not that one. For what it is worth. So one of these two is 1. Is there some commonality to the universes where these two things are 1? Who knows? If this is 4, it makes all of these odd. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to understand here. So if either of these numbers is 4, then for sure this digit is odd. And if either of these numbers is 4, then for sure this number is odd. Whereas Selena seems to be saying the opposite thing, which suggests to me that the thing I see and the thing Selena sees together are useful. But I don't see it yet. Howdy, F-Jam. How are you? I'm suspecting you have been sneaking some sort of classic Sudoku thing into your puzzle, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Someone did say the phrase mutant fish, but it wasn't me. Until just now, when I suppose I said the phrase mutant fish. Do I know that one of these is 1? I'm not actually 100% sure I know that one of these is 1. Uh, although I used it when I made this one corner mark. I'm not sure I believe this one corner mark anymore. I don't think I know that one of these is 1, which is why I'm skeptical of Selena's comment. But I believed before that one of these had to be 1, but I don't think... Yeah, let's see. Lakia says 1 can't go diagonal to a 4, which sounds very true. These can't possibly be a 1-4 pair. But I think they could easily be a 3-4 pair, as far as I'm able to discern it. But that might be the thing that breaks through following the border. But I agree. If one of these is 4, these two circles both share these 4 cells. So if they want to differ, yeah, they can't be 1-4. So they need a 3, I guess. Sayori points out, yeah, they need a 3 because if there's 1 even in these cells, then in order for this to be a 4, I would need 3 evens in these 2 cells. So there's definitely a 3 in each of these, which gets us a digit, because it gets us that this is now a 4. Okay, so we get to do our 4 dance. I will bring in Zach. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So that's going to let me do all kinds of coloring, because now all of these are orange. These are all orange. Orange, by the way, just stands for odd, because odd starts with orange. So these are even. These are even. So there we go. This is orange, Sayori points out, because that's how being the same digit works. And now this is blue for the same reason, because this is an odd digit. Odd is odd plus even, for whatever that is worth. Okay, so these are not 4. So this is certainly not lots of these digits if I look at it now. So these are none 3 odd digits. It's funny. Someone said what? And it didn't even occur to me that the part of the universe they were questioning was the digit dancing penguin. I just took for granted that you couldn't do Sudoku without a digit dancing penguin. They're 2, 4, 6, 8. And these aren't 4. Yes, that is why you saw a dancing penguin. Garion points out this digit's definitely not 1, because if this digit was 1, the 3 evens in the box would be over there. So that places our 1 over here. Good spot to Garion. So these are the evens for the box. These are all odd. So I guess I don't need to fill in 2, 4, 6, 8 for those. So now that is 1. By Sudoku, by sort of chasing. So that's 3, that's 1, that's... Oh, sorry, I guess I don't know what that is. But I do know all of these numbers are odd. And that being 1 makes these all even, which is all the evens for the column. So those are all odd. 1 second while I sneeze. There we go. So we've got all of that. That 1 has made these all even. Okay, that's all the evens for this column, so those are all odd. Oh, row 3 has all its evens, so that's odd. Yeah, one of these is even. I know that information twice in a not very useful way. Let's see. Okay, so these I can percolate. So that's even. That's odd, and that's even, and that's odd. Okay, but this is at least a 4, and it's odd. So this can only be 5, 7, and it can't even be as big as 9, because 9 would need to see 3 boxes worth of evens. And this is even, and it's actually not super large. Now I can say with some confidence. So I think this can be 2 or 4. It can't even actually get as high as 6. Yes, the numbers on the left are the rows, and the numbers on the top are the columns. It's avocado. So that helps chat when they're trying to tell me something like Screaming Ice Cube is saying something about R6C1. They're describing this cell. Is what is done. Okay, so no 1 there. This can't be a 4, is Kyle's point, because if this was a 4, I would need all of my evens over here, and that even is demonstrably not over there. So that's a 3 and that's a 4, which makes that a 3 and makes that a 4, and we can go ahead and even those and odd those. Oddified. That 4 has now made this a 2. This is a 6 or an 8, I suppose. And it's even. No, it's odd. By the row. There's 2 evens in here. There sure are. I do know there's a 1 down here again. And the 1 doesn't go there for sure, because this is a sum of 2 digits. Sayori wants me to look at the fact that this is odd. So this is an odd even pair, which means there's still an even left in the box up there to place. The last odd goes there for the box. This is 4, 6, or 8, which does tell me one of these 2 cells is a 2 for whatever minor amount that is worth. Probably not a whole lot, but it's not nothing. Can this still get to 7? No, this can't get to 7 anymore. Because in order to get to 7, it would need to see every even in this box, and it doesn't because it doesn't see the 2. So this is definitely a 5, which means it sees 2 evens here, which means there's 2 evens it doesn't see, which means this digit's even. I don't know what it is, but I know it's even. So it's not nothing. Right. Now the 2. So Daniel points out now the 2 does see 2. So now these are odd. And now that's the last even. And that's all the odds for this column. So these are both even. This is a 6 or 8. I'm going to note just for future benefit. This row has all its odds, so these are both even. And as soon as that's even, that makes that odd, which is the last odd for the box, which makes those even. Now that's the last even for the column, which makes those 2 odd, makes that even. Now this row has all its even, so that's odd, and that's even. Now that's all the evens here, so that's odd, and that's even. So we've got all kinds of coloring sort of clicking into place. I, by the way, don't think we ever found the classic Sudoku thing, if there was meant to be a classic Sudoku thing. 5 is not odd. 6 is 3 plus 3, so that's not going to work. So this is either 7... Sorry. Let's put the even digits here. So this is 6 or 8, and it's only 8, actually, if you look at the options. Let's go to avocado. Yeah, this stuff all takes a little bit of time to soak in, but if you're starting to follow, that's a good sign. So the reason this couldn't be 6 was that would put a second 3 in the box. So that's 8, and that's 5, and that's 6, and that's 8. While we are going at it. So there's definitely a 1 here, because otherwise these would be a 7, 9, which would be a pretty big problem. In fact, the minimum these can be is 1, 7. Actually, these just have to be 1, 7. Summing to 8. There's no other choice, because if I make it 1, 9, what am I going to do? No, the 9 has to go there. So we've got that. And so now this is a naked single 7. I feel proud of spotting because it sees 1, 3, 5, and 9. So it's a 7. So these are a 5, 9 pair in some order, which now makes that a 7. Okay. This is at least a 5, is Sarah's point. So this is a 5 or a 7. So this is a 7 or a 9. But Sarah sees a reason it can't be 9, which I have not seen yet. Okay, let's see. If this was 4 or 6, if it were 6, it would be 1, 5. Oh, I'm doing it backwards. Sorry, I have added backwards. There we go. Okay. Sorry. This digit's at least a 7. And it's these two that add together to give that. So in fact, this must be a 7 and a 2 adding to 9. There we go. This is either 1, 3 or 1, 5. It definitely involves a 1. So there is a 1 in one of these cells just by Mr. Zach Wing logic. These are a 6, 8. One of these is a 4. I don't think I care about that yet, but I will soon, assuredly, probably. One of these is a 2. Let's see, someone had identified row 7, column 8 as a naked single, I'm being told. Yes, it definitely is. I don't know how it survived the pencil marking, but it did, but not any longer. And now this is a 4 and that's an 8, continuing our naked single cells. So now that is a 6 and that's an 8. That 2 has made that a 2. Let's see. So these are a 4, 6, just for the future. When it could be useful. This is a 2 or a 6. Let's see. I'm being encouraged to think about the evens in box 6 and where they go. So, for example, Daniel points out the 4 is placed there. And now as soon as I do that, the 2 is placed there. So that's the 6, which just makes that a freebie 8. So this is a 2 or a 6. I might as well mark that it's a 2 or a 6. Why not? It makes a 2, 6 pair with this. Oh, that's a 2, 6 pair in the row, actually, which makes that an 8. I don't think I know much about... I guess I know it's not 7. So if this were a 6, it would have to go 6, 3, 9. Ones look down here and make that a 1. Or I guess that is a quadruple in there. Lakia asks a very good question, which is, when did we get all of the evens in row 6, and why haven't we colored yet? I don't know, and I don't know, is the answer to that question. So those are both odd. I might as well fill in. So these are 1, 3, and 9, and that one I know is not 1, so it is only 3 or 9. Smart. Okay, so Sayori points out the 1 in column 4 is definitely going in this box, but that means it's going there, because we had narrowed it down to one of these two, but if the 1 has to be in this column, then it can't be there. So these are 3 and 3, or this is 3 or 9. So that means this is 3 or 9. Do I actually know it's not 3 for shoresies? I don't think so. I think it could be 3, 1, 2 for now, as far as I'm able to tell. Oh, Sayori says it, in fact, can't be 9. Yes, that's a good point. So Garion shows me how to do it. Several people saw this. I did not, but I can explain it. Where does this digit go in box 8? The answer is it goes there, and it's not 9 because there sees a 9. So in fact, those are 3. That's a 2, and that's a 1. And now we'll see if I remember to fill in the 3 there or not. I'm sure you were all taking bets. Let's see. So we get all of that. I keep trying to fill in the other side of this like I know some information about it, but I do not, in fact. Yeah, I think Sudoku, for people new to Sudoku, is its own language. Okay, that 3 actually has made this a 1 plus 5 equals 6. AFK points out that's a 2 and an 8. I never know which is weirder, to call AFK, or Kyle, because I can only imagine that it is strange for people who are following to wonder who this AFK person is that I'm speaking to. Let's see, this is a naked... No, this is a naked 4. Good try, Zeta. That is an 8. So that's a 6 while we're at it. That seems to be a 9. These are a 3 and a 7. That's a 5. Well, it'd be very easy if you cared, AFK, because if you cared, I would just do whichever one you wanted, but since you don't care, I sort of bounce back and forth based on which one sort of feels less weird at the time. Oh, this has become a 4 while I was sleeping. One of these seems to be a 9, and the other seems to be a 3, and the one that's a 3 is that one. So that's the one that's a 9. One of these is a 1, and it's that one, and that's a 7. That seems to be a 5. That seems to be a 9. Yeah, split the difference and call them codec. That works out really well. Kale points out that row 5, column 6 seems to see every even digit, which is very good. So that is odd, and it's the last odd for the row. Thank you, Kale. So we can finish our coloring now, because now we've got all the odds in this column, and now we've got all the odds in this box. And now we've got all the odds in this box. So I'll put an extra one, apparently. I just clicked the wrong button. There we go. So now this is a 5. This seems to be the 4 and the 2. That seems to be the 6. So we'll finish the evens. It's the 1 and the 5, the 7 and the 1. That is a 7. Oh no, do the youth not know what AFK means? That worries me. That is a 1 and a 9, and I seem not to have put this in. I also seem not to have made a bet tree. So this is a 5. Really nice puzzle there. I really enjoyed that one, FJam. You can just say it's AF Kyle or Kyle AF. Kyle AF. I enjoy that greatly. The hair dye that I use to dye my hair purple is called Purple AF, which I enjoy. Bye, it's Avocado. But yeah, please do come back. It's great to see you. And welcome to the stream. Yeah, great puzzle. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Any mad fish were best avoided. Yeah, I did not end up doing anything Sudoku-y like I thought I was going to, with the way, like I thought maybe it was going to be like an almost locked set thing or something like that, but it turned out, despite my original sort of radar going off, that I was going to do something Sudoku-y. I did not have to do anything too Sudoku-y. Alrighty, I am going to take a quick stretch again, and I will be back once I find another puzzle, and I suspect I'll be able to find one. So I'll be back in just a moment. All right, welcome back, everyone. I have chosen what might be a somewhat ambitious puzzle, but we'll see. I realize I have to shrink myself so that you can read the rules. Mini Zeta. But I saw the words draw a loop in the grid, so I was excited. So we have to place the digits from -4 to 4 once in each row, column, and box. So we'll do that with like a +4. So what have I used for plus and minus before? I feel like I've used standard colors for plus. I guess orange is plus and blue is minus. So that'll be a +4 and that'll be a -3. Could do that. So we're going to place the digits from -4 to 4 once each in every row, column, and box. Digits in a cage must sum to the indicated total if given. So keep in mind, you'd think, oh, this is a 3 cage, it's 1, 2, but it could also be +4 plus -1 in this puzzle. And so we need to draw a loop into the grid, which is a parity line, like the ones in the previous puzzles. So they need to alternate odd and even. And 9 cells in the grid are defined as a vertex, 1 in each row, column, and box. The loop must pass through every vertex. Every cage is a vector in the form xy, read from left to right or top to bottom. A vector shows that from the vertex in its box, the loop travels x cells rightward, then y cells upwards, then arrives at another vertex. Okay. So I don't understand that at all, but I assume it'll be relevant later. So one thing I see right away is that in order to get to a sum of 5, I need both of these to be positive. And because the loop is a parity line, it therefore definitely doesn't cross between these two cells. I can at least make it that far. Vertex in its box. Okay, so yeah, 1 in each row, column, and box. It doesn't suggest that the vertices need to be a set of the... I don't think the vertices need to be disjoint. Okay, so this is going to say... okay, so I see. Okay, so so the point is that this digit's going to tell me how far the loop travels right from a digit in this box. Well, it can't go more than 2 right while in this box. So this is definitely a 1 or a 2, and this is a 3 or a 4, because it's then going to go 3 or 4 upwards. Yeah, so 3 or 4 up is fine. I guess here, but here I don't know it's positive. So here, what I'm really saying about this cell is like at most +1, +2, but somehow the pencil mark at most +2 disgusts me slightly. I have discovered the existence of a second 5 cage in the grid, as Selena would say. And probably a similar thing happens. No, not at all, because the y is up. So I know these are both positive. I know the loop certainly does not crisscross through them. But I can go up any number of cells from here. And that's all okay. I don't think it's a max of 3 cells up, because it could be anywhere in this box. Oh, we would like a bet tree. Let's put the bet tree here. Bet on the absolute value of the digit. Although Tristan looked completely asleep on the couch, so the odds that he hears the phrase bet tree are low. But you'll know that you won in spirit. And in fact, you've sort of doubled your odds, since you'll win if it's +3 or -3. Bet 0 on 0. I love it. Now that is a low stakes bet. I guess I should remember that there are zeros. Can there ever be a 0 in a cage? What does it say about the vertices? Exactly. Then arrives at another vertex. Okay, so it's always going from vertex to vertex. I'd not appreciated that before. Uh, so that is kind of interesting. Let's see. So yeah, these are both positive. And right, so the oh no no no. Okay, this is a parity loop. It's alternating between odd and even. Not between high and low. So actually, when I said that it couldn't pass between these, that was actually not true, because these are certainly opposite parity. So it could, because I don't really like this involves with high, low, and odd, even, but I will figure it out. That does rule 0 out of cages because we are told that the vertices are each in a different row, column, and box, as Mr. Don points out. I had missed that entirely, but you're right. The vertices. I was even in my mind picturing like, oh, I could just go from there to there and it would be fine, but it would not be fine because the vertices are thingy thing. Because the vertices are in different rows, columns, and boxes. Let's see. So it's avocado. I stream on Fridays and Sundays. So this time, and then on Sundays I stream earlier in the day. So I stream, let's see. So what time is it now? I stream starting from a little over 5 hours ago. And then, so I stream Fridays and Sundays, and then my husband, Tristan, streams on Tuesdays. And often on Sundays, I will be joined and we will stream together. So this Sunday, for example, it is both. And yeah, if you hop on the zetamath discussion in Discord, there'll be a ping every time there is a stream. But yeah, we are just now settling back into normalcy as far as the stream schedule goes. It has been pure chaos for a bit. But we're now back into normal semester time, so I can predict when I am free more often. I can also unfortunately predict that I'm going to be at a meeting until after 8 p.m. on Tuesday, and I'm not thrilled about it. Let's see. It is true. Tristan often streams easier puzzles than I do. Although I think we've been equalizing a bit because Tristan's been streaming more harder puzzles and I've been streaming more easier puzzles. But I think still on balance, I think Tristan tends to grab slightly easier on average. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with this being a +4. Wait, is it true that each vertex is in a cage? If that's true, I've completely missed it. If it is true, Timothy, that each vertex is in a cage, I do not see it in the rules. However, I have a very hard time skimming text, so it may very well be there. Oh, okay. So, it's box. Got it. Okay. Sadly, I was hoping. Let's see. So it's a -1. So this one is on net going some amount left or some amount down. That seems okay to me. See, and all of these cages have odd sums, so the parity line could move completely through any of them. Is there any point in asking about like where the one in row 9 or row 1 is or something like that? Because like once it's gonna be pretty hard to go from, or like maybe what order the boxes go in or something like that. Let's see. Kyle says the sum of the negatives in the first digit Must be at least 9. No, because the loop goes directly. It's a loop, Eckbert. So 0 is definitely even. So I think 0 is an acceptable even. So we're strangely in a puzzle where there's 5 evens and 4 odds. Right. I actually think they have to sum to 0, don't they? Because every vertex is going to another vertex. I think the sum of these cells is 0. Because you end up where you started, right? Oh, right. Okay. So you're saying the sum of the negatives only and the positives only. Right. Okay. Yes. I agree. I agree with you. The sum of the negatives and the positives. Hey, pedaling pianist. I hope you're doing well. We are attempting to discover a vertex, or a step other than making these cells orange. I've tried to think about things like row 1, column 1, row 9, and column 9. It's slightly confusing that this refers to left, which increases the column number, and this refers to up, which decreases the row number. I'm trying to remember that in my brain, because so rows and columns work very asymmetrically with the way that this works. Not that the rules have anything to do with row and column numbers, just for my brain in terms of thinking about what's happening to the row and column numbers. Let's see, is there some reason these can't both be positive? So it'd be nice if I knew these weren't both positive. I do know neither of them 0. So I know that they're either 1 and 2, or they are it is the classic XY graph notation versus Sudoku matrix notation problem, Kyle. It is absolutely that. Blame whoever decided to index matrices the way they did. Let's see. So I think there's some stray chance that this box Eckbert could point at box 5, because I think there could be a vertex here, and it could do that, for example. Good night, Kodak. There's so many unfortunate things about the matrix index conventions that are problems, like the fact that the first digit refers to a vertical rather than a horizontal thing. Also, like, that threw me forever. When I was first learning linear algebra. Eigenvalue, yes. We're going to have to compute the chromatic polynomial of this grid, I'm afraid. Let's see. Okay, what on earth can I say here? So has to go. So I guess I know the loop for sure goes from this box to this box, right? I definitely go from box 6 to box 9 because I move positive in each direction. Sorry, that's wrong. Box 6 to box 3 because I move positive in each direction. So I definitely go from box 6 to box 3. I don't know what a fantastic way to denote that is, but because of this direction, I end up in somewhere over here. So, like, I guess I can say I know these aren't vertices because I definitely end up over here. I know these aren't vertices. N log space is sort of getting at the same idea that I was trying to get out of. Like, I can rule out these at least. because of the fact that I have to move strictly to the right. But like 1-4 seems to leave an awful lot of wiggle room as a possibility of where the vertex is. Okay, so here, I guess I know this number is definitely negative. Because I'm definitely not getting to box 9, right? Is there any chance I get from box 3 to box 9? I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Assuredly that's a problem, right? That doesn't sound good. But I'm trying to make sure I know why I can't do that. Why I can't have the loop do something like that. But I don't immediately see why. But in almost all instances, this has to be negative. If it's not negative, it's a +1. And if it's a +1, that's a +4. No, sorry, it'd be -4. If this is a +1, that's a -4. Because I'd have to get from here all the way over there. This puzzle is up on LMD. Let's see. I can probably attempt to copy it. 1 second. Copy. Oops, wrong button. Copy, paste. There we go. Garion correctly points out we have to do something weird once, because if we don't do something weird once where we go crisscross, we're not going to be able to visit all the boxes. Ratfink says the tip is if it looks impossible in a pedaling pianist puzzle, that's probably what actually happens. Fair. I don't think the vertices can point at each other, Kyle, because then my loop would only visit 2 boxes, and I don't think my loop is allowed to only visit 2 boxes. Because they don't just point at the other vertex, they describe how the loop moves. I have to keep in mind the loop does this thing with odds and evens. Okay. Maybe I should ask where I go from box 8. Okay, it's incredibly odd, but I'm going to put an X here to attempt to remind myself that I definitely go from box 6 to box 3. Here, I'm definitely going... It sort of makes me think I'm going to box 9, but I think I could go to box 6 instead here. I'm certainly ending up over there somewhere in some capacity. Okay. No, sorry. I was going to say, in my brain, I briefly saw that this was a -1, but that's not a -1. Yeah, you could go from 5 to 8. I was trying to figure out, yeah, oh, right. You could go from 8 to 5. Right. Yeah, okay, so... The -1 has trouble going down. If it goes down, then that's positive. Is there a problem with this being positive and that being negative, Egbert? This is going to have a hard time going up. And this is going to have a hard time going up. Something has to go up, though. Yeah. So Kyle has a good point. This I know goes up. I definitely don't make a loop if both of these also go up. So Glopaglob, I admittedly have not made enough progress to have a coloring convention. But my current colors indicate that these digits are all positive, because in this puzzle, we work with a set -4 to 4. And so currently, at least, these are positive. And so, but I do believe Kyle's point, the loop can't go up 3 times. The loop has to go, in fact, the loop has to go up once, sort of break this line once, and down once. And then once it has to not, in one of these 3 boxes, it has to not break the line. But in order to go up, so I can't make it up from here. So Kyle's point is I have to cross this line going up once. My fear is, what if I cross it going up from down here? And so I could, for example, go up here like that, and maybe that's what happens. And so that is a concern, because I kind of want Kyle's point to be correct, that one of these has to be a -1/4 in order to make it so it works, but it's not quite there. Let's see. Selena asks if this has to be a vertex. So let's see. nlog space thinks this can't be a vertex, because we either come from this box with a 1-4 or a 2-3. 2, 1, 2, 3. Isn't that, if I started here, wouldn't I end up there with a 2-3 nlog? Oh, row 3, column 8. Sorry, row 3, column 8. I just wrote down the wrong cell. Yes, I totally agree. I can't go 2 right and get here, or 1 right and 4 up and get here. So yeah, so that's definitely not a whatever it's called either, vertex. See, Martin is concerned about what happens if I don't go from box 8 to box 9. Can we even visit there? Could we go from box 5 to box 9 to box 6 or something like that? That feels possible. Like we can, we're not forbidden from visiting boxes more than once. We're only forbidden from having a vertex in a box more than once. Okay, so Selena wants us to imagine that this is a vertex. What are the possibilities for this cage? So so for example, we could do oh, well, I think this, yeah, right, it's up and right. Okay, so we could do something like 4 minus 3 here. Oh, sorry, that doesn't work. We could do 3 minus 2. And then we'd end up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We'd end up there next. I don't think there's anything wrong with that that I can see. Oh, 3 minus... so it would have to be the 2 there and the 3 there. This can't be a 3, so I'd have to do 2 and 1 instead. So 1, 2. No, it would be 1, 2. Yeah, that doesn't get me out of the box. Okay, so that combination doesn't work. So Selena's encouraging me to think about just in what the shape of the cells that I could end up are. And so I could end up there, and I can't actually end up here, of course. The points I can end up at from here end up looking like that and then run off the grid. And so if this is my vertex, I'm sort of choosing these points because it is a net of left 1, which I'm not allowed to do, down 1, which I'm not allowed to do, or this, which I'm also not allowed to do. So in this case, I think Selena is correct. This cannot be a point on the thing. And if we translate this over, I think there's lots of other places it can't be either. So I think actually, I believe, Selena, that this has to be a vertex, because I'd get exactly the same line if I tried to make this a vertex. And if this is a vertex, I get a line that's even worse. Because the point is, this line has to leave the box, and the only cell where the line leaves the box is that one. So I think that is that's the point, is that this is actually a vertex. And so now our line of possibilities is that, I believe. And so we either have to be -2 plus 1, or we have to be plus 1, -2. So these are a 1, 2 in some combination. We're definitely going to one of these two cells. And I guess one of the things I should immediately do is note that none of these other cells can be vertices. So one of these two cells is a vertex. And so, for example, that tells me that definitely isn't a vertex. So what do I do from there? I think that's going to tell me that the pathological thing I was worried about happening here doesn't actually happen. Because remember, I was worried about the possibility that, and I think I probably can't actually gray the stuff, unfortunately. I was worried about the possibility that this cell was actually positive, and that it was +1 -4. That was the possibility I was specifically worried about. Because if this is +1 -4, I'd go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. But now I can't do that anymore because there's already a vertex in this row. So now I am prepared to say this digit is definitely negative. We did an awful lot of work to get that was definitely negative. And let's see. I guess I don't know that exactly one of these is a vertex. They could both be vertices for all that I am aware. And sadly, this 1 and this 2 don't like look at a 3 cage in some interesting way or anything like that. Okay. This could still get away with being negative. I got rid of the gray because I wanted to use orange and blue to denote positive and negative. It seemed more important, and I didn't want to have two on top of each other. Let's see. Eckbert is concerned that if I make this a if I make this a vertex, it's not going to be able to escape box 6. And again, I keep getting thrown off by this up-down business. So if so, this would need to be positive and this would need to be positive. And I don't think that works, right? So if this is a vertex, I'm certainly not moving a negative in the. I'm certainly not moving negative in the x direction. I could only move positive in the x direction. So if I also moved positive vertically, I couldn't escape this box because I would need to move positive vertically no more than 2, because this digit would already be positive. In the universe where this is what Eckbert's talking about. In the universe where this is a vertex, this cell's definitely positive. Actually, +4, -1 would work, wouldn't it? +4, -1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I think +4, -1 would unfortunately work. Yeah, I think I think sadly it does work. And sadly, that's not the world where this is a -1. Oh, this is never a -1. Oh, does that not work? Garion says that doesn't work. Right, that puts an extra vertex in this row. There's no 6s, Selena. Right, so Garion is right, that doesn't actually work. So by... I think, therefore, by exhaustion, this is not a vertex. And therefore, this is a vertex. And therefore, this digit is a -2. So we can have Zach do his first ever -2 dance. Woohoo! 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 Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So that's a -2. That's a +1. And now we know we, in fact, go from here to here as my next vertex. Oops. Okay. Oh, I did this backwards. And there we go. X first, then Y. Okay. So now we have to ask ourselves, where are we going from here? And so this could be 1, 4, or 2, 3. I guess there's a bunch of places we could go, because if it's 1, 4, we end up here. If it's 4, 1, we end up there. If it's 2, 3, we end up there. And if it's 3, 2, we end up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We end up there. So I end up one of those places. It is true I could draw the loop. 1, 2. I think all of those are possible, annoyingly. But oh, right, one of them puts it there. I guess I could draw the Selena line for this. So where's the Selena line? The Selena line goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Selena line would say we end up in one of these cells, right? Because I end up a net of 5 in some direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't go there. We don't go there. We, of course, don't go here. So we end up in one of these 3 cells at the end of the day is the takeaway from the Selena line. Okay, I'm going to highlight those cells in a color. I'm going to make them yellow as the possible next steps from here. Okay. Yes, I should have just drawn the Selena line for this point. That would have been smart. So, yeah. So we do one of those things. Because, Timothy, it says a vector shows that from the vertex in its box, the loop travels X cells rightwards, then Y cells upwards, then arrives at another vertex. So it's the last sentence of the rules. Oh, I guess I should think about the parity, huh? So this cell is even. This cell is odd. This cell is even. Is there a problem? Well, one of these is even. Row 8, column 5 is allowed to be a 2, unfortunately, Sweet Blues. because it would be a positive 2 and not a negative 2. And I can have both a positive 2 and a negative 2 in the row. It is worth noting, as Garion says, I was just thinking, oh, well, I know I could draw that, but what on earth is the point of doing that? And then I decided there was no point. But Garion points out there is, in fact, a point, which is that means this digit is odd. And so this digit is even. And so that probably rules out some of my possibilities. So for example, this is no longer possible on the Selena line because that would involve going this digit being odd. This is still possible though, and this is still possible though. So it's one of those two, is I believe what happens. And I guess because it's a 2-4, I know I at least make it this far now, so I know that this is even. And so I guess I know that this is the negative. Oh, no, I don't know that this is negative. I have 4 of the 5 even digits for the box for whatever it is worth. Probably not a lot immediately. Yeah, fake 2-4 pair indeed. Yeah, the positive negative is wholly induced by the fact that I think in terms of row and column numbers. And that is the thing. So the hubbub in chat is that I'm not getting to box 9 unless I go from here to box 9. And the reason for that, I think, concerns this 3. And so this 3 means that from the vertex in box 5, we go at most 1 down. But we need to go more than 1 down in order to get to box 9, because remember, there's already a vertex in this row. And so because of that 3 and that 3 and this thing, I definitely can't go down into this box from somewhere else. In fact, I'm pretty sure now this is going to have to be a 4 -1 in order for me to get down here at all. But let's handle this point first. I need to get to box 9. I'm definitely not getting there from there. Or heaven forbid there or anywhere else. So I have to go to box 9, which means that my yellow circle over here becomes a red circle, which means that this is a 4 and a 1 and looks like that. This is odd. This is even. Oh, this could be 0, by the way. I don't think there's a reason that couldn't be 0. This is odd. Oh, 4 -1 wouldn't even get me there, right? That's a good point. So I have to get to this box from here? Is the loop allowed to cross itself? No, the loop must not enter the same cell twice. How are we even getting here? Are we getting there? I agree with Eckbert that this digit is positive because there are no available vertices below it, but I think we've already broken the puzzle. Selena says -1, -4 is possible from box 2. That seems to me like that's going to break loop stuff. Because now what am I doing with the vertex in this box? Well, from every vertex, we enter another vertex, so we have to enter every vertex. Just because we've got a function from a set of 9 things to a set of 9 things. Okay. This digit is negative. Provided that we haven't broken the puzzle, which I think we have. But provided we have not broken the puzzle, this digit is negative, because the only positive direction it could go is +1. But it can't go +1 because there's already a +1 in the row because sudoku. So it has to go left. Let's see. Pedaling Pianist says puzzle is not broken. Still don't see what could happen over there. So I think the only thing I'm allowed to do is do that. I don't think I can extend this loop. Oh, I guess I can. No. There's no way I can come from below. Right? So I have to come at this, and I always am making a vertical step. So I guess I can do that. So this is 0, 2, or 4. This is 0, 2, or 4. This can only be 1, 2, or 3, or we repeat the we clash into the thing we already have. That digit being even is perfectly fine if we cross it, though. I was worried we'd run out of evens in this box, but we will not run out of evens in this box if we come through it. And I know it goes up at least 2 for multiple reasons. I'm still very concerned by how we're ever getting to this vertex, though. Because correct me if I'm wrong, we absolutely can't get there from either of these places, right? So we have to get there from somewhere really far above, which then makes me worry about how we're ever going to even handle the vertex in this box. I'm not worried about the box 4 box. I'm worried about the box 7 box. Two to 4 to 1 to 7. Maybe. I know we go from this box up to there. That much I am sure of. I know there's an orange 1 over in one of these two cells. I don't know how useful that is. Uh, so 1 and 2 go to 4 and 7. I cannot quite unravel this at the moment. So where is the vertex in this box going? The vertex in this box must be going... Yeah, I mean, I guess as long as we believe everything what M. Nasty says is true, this has to go there, right? There's no... because it can't have... It's going right or left and then down. Well, we said it didn't come from here, so it must have come from down more than that above, and that's already 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually, I think we just know this is a -4. Oh, no, sorry, we don't, because we don't know whether it came that way or that way. We know one of these two is a -4. But this is a 1, 3. This is a 0, 2, 4. This is a 1, 3. I am absolutely flummoxed by how this is not broken, given I have no idea what the vertex in box 4 could possibly do. Like, I don't understand how... Because the vertex in box 4 is going to have 2 ends. Those 2 ends are going to have to come through these, right? Okay, I think I'm slowly conceptualizing what has to happen. So there's 2 ends to the vertex in this box. They both have to go there. Right? There's got to be red segments there because I've got to get my vertex out 2 different places. One of these has to make it God knows where. I can't do a -4 because of sudoku. Uh, I think I thought that was true, Selena, but I don't think that can be true because if it's true, we have a loop parity problem. Uh, I don't think that's true, Timothy, because I think this is a vertex, or at least I think it can be a vertex. Uh, so I think what's going to happen is I think I'm going to end up with something like this is a vertex. I'm going to have a vertex down here, and I'm going to come from like way over here down to there, and then back up here. Sorry, back up here and connect to there is I think what's going to happen. Uh, well, one of these is coming in, one of them is going out, right? Uh, welcome, Craig, by the way. I hope you're having a good day. New subscriber. Uh, Box 4's vertical part has to be negative. That's true. That's one of the consequences of this. If I sort of unravel this, this is definitely negative, I think, because I need to get out of this box, right? Uh, right. I'm not going from this box down. Oh, yeah. So I need to go up. And up is no, sorry, up is positive, unfortunately. Up is positive. This needs to be positive. Yeah, up is positive. I have screwed this up again. This is either +1 or -1 are the only options for this digit. So funnily enough, it's always a 1. Because I can only go one right or one left. Those are my only options. I don't have any other amount that I can move. So this is always a 1. I just don't know what kind of 1 it is. Yeah, would there have been anything wrong with having this just be up inverted and have it go the right way instead of the wrong way? I think it would be literally the same puzzle. So this is a +2 or a +4. By the way, that we have to go up. And so I'm getting a vertex in one of these columns, I guess. I know that box 4 goes to box 1. Uh, 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 hey, Ambrose. Do we have 5 evens in box 4? I only count, I guess, one of these two is even, because the fact that it's a loop tells me this is definitely even. I guess I can fill in things like because of the fact that the loop moves orthogonally, parity is preserved, even though I don't know I don't know how they connect yet. So I guess the point is if this box is going to there are 5 evens, Eckbert, not 4, unfortunately. So yeah, it just works if the loop does that. So 2 or 4. Yeah, I have no idea where the vertex is yet, so I can't yet make use of this. Oh, I see. I think I finally understand Selena's point. I think Selena's point is this is a vertex and it connects to that. No, it can't. That doesn't work. That would violate sudoku. Because that would put 2 -4s in a row. So it doesn't work. I still feel like this is impossible, but I'm missing something. But I thought for a moment, I thought I understood Selena's point. It wouldn't make this a vertex. But I can't put 2 -4s here. I mean, only box 2 can possibly go to box 4. I think. But something I think is wrong because I don't think the puzzle has a solution, so I'm being very careful. But I don't see how something other than box 2 is going to box 4. But see, that just, if I believe that, I instantly believe the puzzle's broken because then there's nothing that can connect to this. Because it can't get there from box 3 because it would require 2 4s. So I'm misunderstanding something. There's no box that can go to box 7. If I believe your proof, there's no box that can go to box 7. Wait, can box 1 go to box 7? Is that actually true? Have I missed that box 1's allowed to go to box 7? Oh, Danita has donated 5 memberships. Let me get you a donation dance, Danita. Thank you. Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Enjoy your green screen names and your emotes. Kyle, Michael, Lakia, Sayori, and Adam. And thank you so much, Danita. And I totally believe Selena's point now. I was thinking that we were proving that this doesn't happen, but Selena's point is this has to happen. That has to do that, right? And so this is right 1 and down 4. Oops. I think. And so this has to have come from higher because loop stuff. This has to be very negative. Okay, so we're going... That means we're going 1 right, actually. and 2 there, because now I can't go one left, or I would end up saying that the vertex I started at was in this column, which it's not. So I have to have gone 1 right and 2 up to get here. So that happens. So certainly that means we got there from there. This is 1, 2, 3 down. So certainly, yeah, I'm going backwards and down here. Oh, but I'm not allowed to go 4 down because there's already a 4 in the row. So I'm going 3 down, which is already this. So this is 3 down and 4 right, actually. Sorry, that's left. 4 left from this vertex is the only way that this works. Okay. We have made some progress. Minus 4 right, left. Yeah, minus 4 right. Exactly. Minus 4 right. Okay. Is there any sudoku that we can do that would be useful? There's a minus 4 over here somewhere. I guess I can write in the parodies and the few additional cells that I've written in. So like this is 0, 2, 4. This is 0, 2, 4. This is 1, 3. 1, 3. This is 0, 2, 4. We've got all the all the evens in this box, so this is odd. This sees both 4s, so it's not 4. A few people have pointed out. And it can't be a segment, Ambrose, because a 0 would put a vertex in the same row or column as another vertex. So the vertex in this box is in one of these 2 places. And okay, and I go from here to there. Okay, so now this has to be a 4. Is finally what we get. This has to be a 4 because I remember I'm moving from box 6 to box 3. That was the first deduction we made. And I have to get all the way into row 1 of box 3. And I'm not going to do that with... Oh, I could do that with a 3, couldn't I? Never mind. I could do that with a 3. Never mind. 1, 2, 3 would work fine. Never mind. Regrettably, my ability to count is still in question. Oh, it can't be 4. Right. It can't be 4 because if I went from row 4, or if I went 4, I would have to be starting in row 5, and I'd go 4 up to end up there, but then I would repeat a vertex there. So in fact, people are correct. This has to be 3 and 2. And so I go up 3. 1, 2, 3, and over 2. In my brain, I keep seeing that as going up 3, and it's going up 2, and that also screws me up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong. Sorry, the 2 is to the right, not the left, because of the positive negative flippy floppy thing. Right 2, up 3. So I have to have this as my vertex, right? I don't think there's any way around it. Otherwise, right, but it's right 2 first, then up 3. And then there's another vertex. We just had an X there to indicate that we knew we moved from this box to this box, and I didn't have any other symbology to notate it. So 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4, 1, 3. Is at least 1 minus. Oh, but do I have to get from here to here? Yeah, the X looks like they're stitched together. Exactly. I mean, I'd love if there were more border marks I could make, like an arrow or something would be great for puzzles like this, but I just don't have a lot of options. Hey, no, I'm doing pretty well. This puzzle has really put me through the ringer. But other setters were somewhat kinder today. Do I know where the last vertex is, actually? The last vertex is row 5, column 5, right? Yes. I see Timothy is also pointing that out. Yes, I can locate. Uh-oh. No, not row 5, column 5. Row 5, column 6. No, row 6, column 6. There we go. How about that? Did I get it right that time? I got it. I got both the row and the column wrong, but other than that, it was all okay. Okay, so the box was right. That's true. So we have to decide where we're going from here. And so the only place I could possibly be going is here, because I'm definitely not connecting from here to here. That would require digits that I do not have. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 left, and then 1 down in order to make that happen. So this is a 1, 3. This is a 1, 3. Okay. Right. And so now if I connect, I absolutely can't connect these, or I've isolated this. So I have to connect there, which means that this is a -2 plus 2. It's funny to me that there's this cage. Oh, I guess I used this cage total a long time ago to like rule out some of the paths. Because now this has to do that, which is 1 right, 2 up. And now, at long last, it is just Sudoku, as they say. 1, 3, 0, 2, 4. Okay, this sees both 2s. I'll get one of those. This is definitely negative because it sees both positive 1, 3s. Let's see. Pair of 3s in row 3. I have not seen Martin's pair of 3s in row 3 yet. Oh, right. Okay, yes, right. These things both these both see both 1s is the point. So these are a 3-3 pair. Got it. Okay. I am happy with my 3-3 pair. Oh, where's the blue 1 in row 2? The blue 1 in row 2 can only be here, I believe, unless someone has an alternative suggestion for where it could go. So this is a 3 for sure because it sees both flavors of 1. Oh, and it's the other flavor of 3. Because that's the flavor of 3 there. There's a +2 placed here, Eckbert points out. Agree. Let's see. Those aren't the orange 3. Those aren't the orange 3. That's not the orange 3. This is the orange 3 for the row. So this is now 0 to 4. I believe. It's not a +2, at the very least. Oh, this is definitely even because I have all the odds for the box. So this is 0, 2, or 4. It's not 2, I know. Oh, this isn't 2 either, for the record, because I have a 2-2 pair in the column. This is the -1 for column 6. Orange 2 in box 7. I have both 1s in column 4. I do, so that's a 3. I don't know what kind of 3 yet, I don't think. Do I have all the evens in this box? I do have all the evens in this box, so this is definitely odd. And it's definitely negative because it sees both positives. Not for any particularly good reason. I know, poor row 3, column 1. This box has all its odds. So these I can mark as being from 0 to 4, and I can contemplate what they can be. Orange 2 in column 6, I'm being encouraged to look at, is there. Good spot. Orange 2 in row 8 is now there by Sudoku. Orange 2 in box 1 is now here by Sudoku. Please only highlight the orange 2s. No, there's no highlight only the orange 2s button. I think I have all the orange 2s now, though. This sees both 4s. Thank you, Timothy. Oh, I don't have an orange 2 in box 2 yet, but it's there. There we go. Now I have all the orange 2s, I think. At least I will boldly claim it so. Do I have all the orange 1s? Not yet. I still have an orange 1 over down there. I have an orange 1 over down here somewhere. Blue 2 in box 8 is placed there. Good. Okay, so these aren't 2. They see both flavors of 2. In fact, actually, the blue 2 in this box is placed here. Okay, so yeah, these are a 0-4 pair. Orange 1 in column 7. That's not it. That's not it. So that's the orange 1 for column 7. Good spot. So this is now definitely negative, and it's negative 3, actually. Let's see. One of these is negative 3. I already knew that. These are a 0, positive 4 pair, so this must be the negative 2 for the row. And this is the negative 2 for this box while we're at it. Negative 2 in box 4 as well. Yes, good. So these aren't 2 because that's all the 2s for the row. And in fact, all the odds for the row. So I can actually fill in that these are 0, 2, 4 as well. Right. This 1, 3. No, it's not all the... No, that was a lie. I did not count that correctly. Minus 2 in box 5 is there. Good. So minus 2 over here is maybe the last minus 2. Looks like the last minus 2. Let's see. Oh, we've got an orange 1 in this box, and I think it's now placed there. Oh, we've got all the 2s. Conveniently, Sven is now telling me that it is done. This is not a 2. Actually, just nothing is a 2 anymore. One of this is a 0. I do love that we haven't even placed a 0 yet. That is very cool. I know one of these is a 0 for what it's worth. I guess this column just has a naked single left because we've got a 0 and both 4s in the column already. Oh, this is just the other 3, whatever the other 3 is for the column. I don't know what the other 3 is. One there. Okay. That's all my odds for this row. So this is a 0 or a 4. I believe. Let's see. Don't know a lot about blue ones yet. Got all the orange ones. This column, I've got my 1 and my 3. So this is 0 or 4, I believe. Just because I've got all my odds in the column. Blue 4 in box 4. Yes, blue 4 in box 4. Let's see. Nlog space has identified that row 7, column 6 is our first 0. Excellent, excellent. Congratulations on getting to claim the first 0. So therefore, this is a positive 4. This is a negative 4. Let's see. Blue. Oh no, blue 4 in this box is in one of those 2 places. I don't know which one. Blue 4 in this box is in one of these 2 places. Let's see. This column is missing a blue 1, a 0, and a blue 4, I guess, which is a lot of things to be missing. Let's see. Oh, right. This is a 1 or a 3 is the point from chat. Those are a 0, -4 pair. And so this can only be a 1 or a 3, and either way it's negative. So those are a -1, 3 pair. And so now where does the blue 4 go in this pair, in this column? Only here. And so now that's the 0. I think I did all that right, hopefully. This, I'm told, sees both 4s. It does, so this is a 0. So this is a 4. Let's see. This is a 0 just by sudoku. This is a 4, and it's positive. This is positive, so this is, these are both negative, in fact. And this is a positive 4. This is a 1 or a 3, but I don't think I know whether it's positive or negative yet. That's the 0 for the column. That's the orange 3 for the column. Let's see. These are both 4s. And I know the color of that one is orange because of the column, so that one is blue. And so now that's both 4s for this column, so that's a 0, and that's the positive 4. So now that's both 4s, so that's a 0. So now that's a positive 4. So I am missing a -1 and a 0 over here. This has become, though, a positive 4. Okay, so this is the 0 for this row, though. It's the only spot for it. So that makes that a 0, which now makes this the -1. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. So everything left is a 3 or a 4. This sees both 4s, though. So let's see. So this sees 0. It doesn't. It sees both 1s. It sees both 2s. And it sees both 4s. So this is a -3. It is a naked -3. Which does all of that. Let's see. Do I know anything about these? I guess I know that this is an orange 1, 3, because I've got both the blue 1, 3s in the row. Oh, and in fact, if it's an orange 1, 3, it's a positive 3. And so now this is a blue 1, 3. Okay, column 1 is done. I am being told I am only missing a blue 4, I think. That 3 looks over and makes that a 1, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 1, which makes that a 3. So this is orange because there's a blue in the row. So this is blue. So that's both blues. So this is the orange one, and it's a 3. Which makes this blue. And it is blue 1. Let's see. This is now not orange, so it's blue, and it's a blue 1. And this is a blue 3, I suppose, which makes that a blue 1 and a blue 3. So now this is orange. This is blue. Let's fill in the orange and the blue. And last of all, we have an orange 3. Whew, boy, that was quite a puzzle. My only two wishes are that it didn't reverse up and down, and that it did not involve both odd and even and high and low. I think if the loop had alternated high and low instead, then that would have made it so it wasn't sort of taxing your brain in two different directions. But I really like the idea here. This is a very cool combo, and I quite enjoy the boxes that tell you how the loop goes idea. And so using the positives and the negatives was a cool way to do that. Yeah, that was definitely a crazy puzzle, but a very cool idea. I really like this kind of indexing idea of the things. Yeah, it's just a little unfortunate that you want to color high, low, and odd, even, and it's a little bit of a nightmare to do both. I'd have loved to be able to just color it odd, even, and then be done with it. Or I guess high, low. I guess I would have rather been able to color it high, low, because the odd, even wasn't super relevant. But yeah, I do like parody lines. I think parody lines are very cool. All right. Well, that is going to be it for today's stream. So thank you, everyone, for hanging out. We got some very cool puzzles today of a wide variety of sorts. So thank you very much. And now there'll be an upside down version. So for people who are up, down, blind like I am, there will be another version. So that is cool. So yes, please do hit the like button. It is greatly appreciated. It is also greatly appreciated, all of you who support the stream financially. Thank you for the gifts today, by the way, to Pause and Danita. We greatly appreciate the donations. And so if you do want to support the stream financially, it is greatly appreciated if you do. You can do that by clicking the join button down below. So you can do that for as little as $5 a month, and we do greatly appreciate it around here. Tristan and I will be back on Sunday, so you can see us all then. And until then, thank you all for watching. And also thank you to the Turbines, the people who donate at the top level. So I like to read them off because sadly there's not much else I can do for them. I do appreciate when the Turbines suggest puzzles. So there are a few other things, but I like to read their names. So David, Nordy, Franco, Daniel, Danita, Nell, and Plonktime. Thank you all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.